Now, Caleb Williams had argued the biggest expectations of all the guys coming out, as he was a quote-unquote generational talent, but more importantly, the hype around this offense was just going bonkers. The situation around Williams for the Bears was really good. Probably the best ever for a rookie quarterback in recent history, at least. And to say the least, Caleb Williams failed in most eyes what he had around him. I agree, but there's two critical things that might blow your mind about Caleb Williams and the reality of the supporting cast. But first, let's look at the numbers of how he did this year. Caleb Williams didn't hit the record for the Bears passing record of 4,000 yards, but he did throw for 3,541 yards at 6.3 yards per attempt, rushing for 489 yards at 6 yards per attempt. He also threw for 20 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, and 0 rushing touchdowns and 10 fumbles. That sounds pretty decent for a rookie, but going into the real advanced stats, a different story is told. Caleb had 24 big-time throws and 19 turnover-worthy plays, having a 3.9% average big-time throw rate, which was basically the same as Jayden Daniels. While being under pressure, Williams had notable things to point out. He really wasn't great when kept clean, which means no pressure, with having a 70.9 passing grade and being ranked 33 of 42 NFL quarterbacks. This is the worst of the rookie quarterbacks and 6 grading points worse than Drake May, who had a significantly worse supporting cast. There is more though. There's also a strange thing we see in his grading when he was blitzed versus other pressure and being kept clean. When he was blitzed, Williams was one of the better quarterbacks with having a 74.9 passing grade, 13 out of 39 quarterbacks. But when he faced other pressure and was kept clean, he was one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL, being 37 of 39 quarterbacks with a 54.5 passing grade. I am not sure why Pro Football Focus doesn't just separate all the other pressure and kept clean, because it would show basically how he played against a 4-man pressure, which must have been catastrophic to drop his grade that much when having kept clean mixed in. Still, this is very interesting information and something to watch going forward. Earlier, I had said there's 2 critical components to Williams' game this year that kind of reflect poorly on him. One of these will surprise you, that being Caleb Williams had one of the best offensive lines in pass protection. Shocker, right? It definitely was for me, and honestly, it didn't make much sense given how much Caleb Williams was sacked this season, which he was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL with 68 sacks. Yikes. So if Williams was sacked the most in the NFL and the offensive line is grading out to be a top 10 pass blocking unit, something's wrong with the grading then, right? Well, no. 2 things can explain this though. You see, Williams was one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL with his pressure to sack ratio, which is how often he takes a sack when pressured, which was 28.2% of the time, catastrophically bad. That's almost a third of the time he will get sacked when pressured. We know this is on Williams as well as 1, when you watch replays of games, Williams is often getting sacked because he's scrambling around or is not maneuvering the pocket well enough. And 2, Pro Football Focus has allowed pressure stats, which tell you how often the offensive line or quarterback is responsible for pressure. And out of all pressure, he was responsible for pressure 18.7% of the time, which his offensive line was 76.4% of the time, and that was 12th best in the NFL. The other critical component that ties into this, and it's really hard to break down given how long the video already is, but it's the scheme. As I was going through games and many others as well in the media, there was a problem with the alignment, route running, and positioning of receivers, especially with not getting the technical aspects of play design, which it ultimately led to the firing of Shane Waldron. The problem was that firing him doesn't mean the play design and technical aspects that were laid out in the offseason and training camp, or wasn't, because it takes the offseason to fix that actually. We don't have time to get into it further, but I will say it might be a heavy factor in why Williams was taking so long to throw the ball with one of the highest times to throw in the NFL at 3 seconds. That was 6th highest in the NFL. Also might be why he was taking so many sacks and trying to make so many plays, because just the structure was not there. And for the perfect visual of what it was like, take a look at this play here. 3 receivers in one spot. Caleb wasn't all bad though. There is just a lot of bad, especially statistically. But when you watch the film, you could see the great in him. Like, he would be terrible in the first half, but then the second half comes and he starts playing significantly better. It's almost like when the offense's scripted plays ran out, or whenever they threw the game plan out the window, it's like the coaches told Caleb Williams just to go out and play hero ball. And that's when he started playing better, which is just not going to work in the NFL when you're doing that all the time. I am not saying Caleb Williams is a bust and he isn't going to work out. This video, as a reminder, is simply a review how he was this season. And to summarize, he was great in some games. He tried to lead comebacks late in the game, which shows his resilience and him playing well under pressure, but he played out of structure too much. Wasn't good in structure, even when the scheme was good. It was just a roller coaster of a rookie season. And now, for my favorite part of these reviews, one big moment of the season. In a game against the Vikings where Caleb was all over the place by a throw standpoint, making exceptional throws, lots of big time throws, and also throwing the ball to the defense. Williams was the one carrying the offense though, knowing it was him or nothing, and he almost led a great comeback to win the game. This play here was right after the Bears somehow got the onside kick and had the chance to tie the game and go into overtime. The cover seems to be a prevent style and morphs into what you might think of cover 3, kind of. That's Brian Fuller's defense for you though. Williams is going to make a ballsy throw right in the middle to pick up a ton of yards and ensure the Bears can kick the field goal to tie the game. This throw is going to just barely make it over the linebacker and safety to where DJ Moore is, an absolute bullet as well. It's just another example of the special potential that Williams has and shows the Mahomes-like nature of him. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like. It helps YouTube show this video to more people, and subscribe if you want to see more of my football content. I got a lot of draft videos in the making and some analysis on controversial quarterbacks in the NFL coming after this video. See you next time.